What is up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. I'm almost done with my day. I'm headed over to offload at the landfill right now. So it's 1 o'clock, 1:15. Already had a decent day so far. Ran down to Carthage, Missouri, got a load, brought it back, offloaded it, and then got loaded. And some of my favorite times working here is whenever I have an offload and then a reload at the shop because I took a nap on the couch in the break room. I took a big old stinky shit. I played on my phone for enough time that I ran out of things I really wanted to watch, and even stuff I didn't want to watch. And then I ran over to get some lunch. That was sweet. And then I sat in my truck and waited a little bit longer, just waiting for something else to happen. So I enjoy these times. Come on, somebody's turning. Somebody's turning. I need to get out of this fucking lane here. But yeah, I don't know. That's just my day for you guys to understand, I guess. All right, who's going? I could have gone, but people aren't using their blinkers. Motherfuckers. There we go. We're rolling now. Yeah, I'm pretty excited. I bought, even though I probably should have waited a little bit, but I didn't want to have to wait for payday to where, I don't make, sometimes I don't think this is a bad decision. I want to be able to work on doing some things this weekend. And in order for me to work on doing things this weekend, I need to have an engine hoist. And now I get on Marketplace and I see everybody wants to sell their engine hoist for $250, $200. And they're old. They're probably pretty good things. They're just all scratched up and old. They might have blown out seals. They might not. I don't know. And there's no way for me to know unless I go, check it out. And then do I want, whenever I have I don't even know how heavy an engine actually is. Let's just say 400 pounds of engine hoisted up in the air on this, and then the seal blows. I don't want any of that. So now, trusting the cheapest engine hoist you can find off of Amazon, that's a whole different ball game. But I figured, it's rated for 2-ton. It's got good ratings, and I'm not going to be picking up 4,000 pounds, anyways. I'm going to be picking up much less. I don't know how much like a full Chevy 350 with all the bells and whistles on the front. I don't know how much that weighs. Less than 2 ton. So, anyways, I bought an engine hoist off of Amazon. Amazon is a wonderful place to go. I looked at Harbor Freight. I promise you, I did. The cheapest one at Harbor Freight is like $250, and I know I could probably get it, use it, and then return it. But I don't know, man. Like this one, it's gonna be delivered to my house tomorrow, and then I got to put it together. I'm sure. I think the Amazon guy is going to hate, but who knows? Sorry, dude. Bought an engine hoist, and you have to deliver it to my house. It's gonna be a big, heavy box, and it might get tossed around a little bit. I hope not. I hope it comes and everything's in good shape still. But and it's kind of hard to. You have to really try to damage an engine hoist. It's not exactly a fragile thing. But yep, got me an engine hoist, so we are moving forward. We are not moving backward. We're moving forward. We will be getting. Don't listen to that. An engine swap soon. And I did look up a little bit of videos of like what to look out for when switching from a Chevy or a V6 to a V8, and the engine mounts really seem like the only thing they really. Several videos pointed out. They're like, yeah, the engine mounts. Yeah, the engine mount. Okay. Sure. I think the engine mounts are something that I can definitely get easily from either the parts store. I could probably order some online. But that's something I would rather just go to O'Reilly and pick it up, even if it is a little bit more expensive. Because I don't know if I'm going to need them yet or not. I don't know how the square body frame and engine mounts are versus the OBS engine mounts. I would think they're upgraded, a little updated. It's a whole different platform and frame and everything. So maybe it's upgraded, maybe it's not. I don't know. But I think those engine mounts are good, and if I can reuse them, shoot, I'll just reuse them. But if I have to replace them, I don't think they're going to be that expensive. But anyways, that's basically the only problems I found. Oh, I was in high side. Son of a bitch. Go, truck, go! Sorry to the guy behind me. We're all making it through the light. Can't be that mad at me. Anyways, I'm all excited about this. Yeah, I'm pretty fucking excited. Ready to do an engine swap. And I'm going to try to make at least, I wanted to get the engine hoist for this weekend. I think I'm going to have some time this weekend. And I know some of that time is going to have to be dedicated to cleaning up my garage, because I'm going to need some room to have these engines. I don't think I'm going to pull them both at the same time. I think I'm going to pull the 4.3 and take lots of pictures. I might even try to do a video. I'm not sure. I know old Shane has tattoos. He said that he wants to see a video process of it. I'm going to try. I will try. And then thank you for the comment, by the way. I really do appreciate it. I finally got a comment, guys. You can leave one too. Anyway, it's got the engine hoist ready to go. I'm gonna get that 4.3 pulled out. I think I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna start with pulling the 4.3 because I'm gonna need some of the accessories off the 4.3, but really not much. And then the rest of I can dedicate a little bit more time to cleaning up the engine bay and labeling wires and connectors and this and that. That's where I'm going to need to. I'll once I get that removed and get the engine mounts, the V6 engine mounts pulled out, because that was the problem is people were having. They were like, well, usually you're switching from a V6 to a V8, and so it comes with the V6 engine mounts, and they're kind of hard to get to. So I guess start with pulling the V6, getting that engine bay completed and ready to go for the swap. And then the 350 is, there's so much room in there. It's insane. And one thing that's kind of cool is it's on a body lift. So that means the gap between the bell housing and the trans tunnel is a big ass gap, So I shouldn't have any problem. It's already got plenty of room, but now it's got even more room, another 2 inches of hand room to get in there and get all the bolts and shit that I need to get removed out. And then, yeah, I think I'm going to also purchase an engine stand, and that, so maybe, possibly, it depends on how far I get this weekend. Maybe the 350 will be on an engine stand, but maybe not. Maybe I will just use the hoist. I'll just say fuck it. I just need the hoist, but I feel like there's going to be some things, because the engine hoist is going to be held. It's held by the intake manifold. So at least I think so. I think I might be able to use some different spots for different bolts or something. But what if I want to take the intake manifold off? I can't. I guess that's really the only thing. I could still do everything else, but I don't know. Wrenching on an engine that's kind of dangling, doesn't sound like a good time. But maybe I'll be able to just set it down on a workbench, but keep it hoisted up, and it'll be fine. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet. I'll probably wait to buy an engine or an engine stand until I know I'm going to want an engine stand. But they're cheap. That would take time out of my day to go locate one, negotiate, and get it picked up. Oh, come on. What is going on here? I'm just all over the place right now. Anyways, the engine stand engine hoist will be in my driveway tomorrow to Friday. Any one of those days. Just in time for me to start doing some shit. I can obviously start by unbolting the transmission, and getting all the other connectors and everything disconnected, fuel lines, hydraulic lines, coolant lines, everything. Get everything disconnected, so whenever the hoist does arrive and gets put together, it'll be ready to just pluck right out of that motherfucker. So, fuck yeah! Fuck yeah! I should probably turn my lights on with that. It's raining. It just started raining. I hope it don't rain this weekend, but it might. I don't know. Hopefully I'll be in the garage. Getting the garage cleaned out is going to be another big task. I've got a lot of the clutter. It has been picked up. There's a lot of shit that I just don't want. I've got a bunch of baby carriages and swings and shit that came from underneath the closet, under the staircase or whatever. So I've got a bunch of that shit that's kind of in the way, and then I got a bunch of other stuff that I am not. I don't really want to have anymore. Yeah, buddy, you're gonna need to slow down or speed up. I'm not getting over. Thank you for understanding. Yep, got a lot of stuff. Got to clean up. Got to get my tools organized and get ready for this. It's a big deal. It's a big deal to me. I mean, a lot of people. Oh yeah, you're just swapping it in. No, dude, listen. I've done it before, and it was a big deal then. And I had a lot of people around me that were super knowledgeable. That have done it. It wasn't a big deal to them. It's a big deal to me. This is going to be. I believe in myself that I can do this. Mostly by myself. I mean, obviously, trying to get it angled and put in there. But I got an engine hoist that's got a leveler bar on it, so I should be able to manipulate that engine and get it in there pretty easy. I think another thing that I noticed from people talking was there's not a whole lot of room without taking that. The fuck is it called? The goddamn core support out. The radiator core support. You can take the hood off, and the hoist will go up high enough, but just barely. And my hoist, maybe I will swap and just use the hook and some chains, or I will use this leveler bar. I'm not sure yet. But it's looking like I'm going to remove the front wheels and lower it down to the ground, just so I have more lift. And I would also like to probably clean up the garage enough that I can nose the truck into the garage. Just because the garage floor is nice and smooth and flat. And I think moving the engine hoist around would be a lot better. But who knows? We'll see when we get there. You guys are in for some exciting content. If this is the type of thing you're into, I will gladly take your criticisms or your praises in the comments. If you are like, this guy's an idiot, he shouldn't do this, he should switch it, he should do an LS swap. Hey, just do it. Shut the fuck up about the LS swap. I don't have an LS. I'm not doing an LS swap. Okay? Oh, you should just swap in a Vortec. Hey, shut up. I don't have a Vortec. I'm not gonna have a Vortec. I'm not buying another engine. I got what I need. I'm gonna use what I got. Yes, I know. This is like the lowest horsepower engine that you can put in there that's a V8. It's okay. It's a Chevy 350 reman, Goodwrench reman, Chevy 350. Nothing special about it. That's what I want the engine stand for. I guess I don't need the engine stand for it, but I'm going to drain the oil out and check to see if it's a 4-bolt main. That will be an exciting moment. And also, just see if there's any chunks. There could be something hidden inside that engine that may be not a good deal. But I think it's going to be okay. I know I've ran it, I've fired it up, I've driven the square body. It sounds amazing. It sounds exactly the way I want it to sound. Now, long tube headers would be so fucking cool, but that's going to be something that's going to have to come later in life, I think. Why would I try to change out anything? I just need an engine that runs in that truck. So I need to really hold myself to that, because I did get on Amazon and look up headers and intakes and valve covers and all kinds of other things. I need to quit doing that. It will work just fine the way it is, and none of those things are going to really change much of anything. The horsepower rating, if you're going to get any good, if you want to put anything on this engine to make it have any more power, that's going to include boring it out, new pistons, new rods, bearings, taking it to a machine shop, having your head ported, or different heads and all together, and then intake, and there's rockers. There's so much that goes into an engine that if I want to build it to have a bunch of horsepower, it's going to be a lot of money and a lot of time that I don't really care about. I just want it to sound cool and drive good, and have a little bit more power than that old shitty V6. And I think I can do that. I think I'm going to be all right. If it looks good, that's another thing. I mean, the headers is another thing that would make it look really fucking good. Maybe I can pull off those manifolds, exhaust manifolds, and have them cleaned up a little bit so they don't look like rusty old pieces of shit. Um, which I almost am positive I'll do that. But just throwing a set of headers on there would be pretty nice. But getting the cheap ass headers offline, I could get a used set, that are maybe a little bit better of a brand and just cheaper because they're used. That'd be a better idea. But excited, so excited! Yeah, Kevin Hart does it in one of his fucking comedy. Anyways, other than that, yeah, things are going really well right now. Nothing really holding me back. I've got the world is at my fingertips. I can do whatever I want to. Well, maybe not whatever I want to, but I can do a lot of stuff right now, and it's pretty exciting to have this project. And I'm also, it kind of goes against me and my religion, which is old rusty vehicles. I also am ready to thin out the herd. Um, I would really like this engine swap to go very well and that truck to run awesome and do a good job, that I trust it enough to become my daily driver, and then I have that truck and the bike and everything else gets sold. It would be kinda nice. Um, yeah, it'd be actually really really fucking nice. If I love the square body, sell it. The Jeep, it's not a bad Jeep, but it's a Jeep, and I didn't realize I'm not going to be, whatever. I'm 35 years old, and I'm not a super small guy. I didn't know I wasn't going to like a Jeep, and I'm just not a big fan of it. Honestly, not a big fan of it. If I was a smaller guy, maybe I'd fit in there better. If I didn't have a horrible tailbone injury, I need to get over. And this guy is just like sticking around my rear bumper. There we go. Got around him. Yeah, I'm just not. I don't think I'm a Jeep guy. They're small. I knew they were small. I should have known as soon as I got it that I wasn't going to really like it when I test drove it. But I did, and I bought it, and now I got to pay the price for it. So, but whatever. I'm not going to be sad at all to sell the Jeep, either one of the Jeeps. Um, I'm going to be a little bit of a heartbreak when I sell the square body, but you know, having the life of the square body in the 92 will be a good thing, I think. And it was such a stupid thing for me to even try to sell the 92 at all, and I mean, ask my buddy Luke. I talked to him. I said, "Hey, Luke, tell me this is a bad idea to sell the 92," and he said, "It's a bad idea. Don't do it." And I just did it because first off, it's my life. I get to do whatever the fuck I want. But that was a bad decision. I shouldn't have ever even tried to do that. I shouldn't have. If I would have the money that I spent on the Jeep, if I would have just put that into either one of my trucks or both of them, I think life would be a little different right now. Maybe better, maybe worse. Who knows? But this is the direction we're going, and we're gonna get through this. I'm going 50 miles an hour uphill. I'm sorry, we're on a hill and I'm fully loaded. I swear I passed that van earlier, and I thought they stayed on the other highway. How did they follow me? We are looking at a little bit of strange weather tonight. I guess starting now, but it's going to get significantly worse, apparently, according to the radar. We'll see what happens. Tornadic activity, or just tornadic weather. A lot of hail and wind and rain and sucking and blowing and all kinds of shit. There's a police car. That's a police car. I'm not doing anything wrong. Please just look the other way. I'm just over here drinking the water. That's all I'm doing. Yummy, yummy water. Sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I make you guys sit through my idiotic mind, but I'm having a good time. Not gonna lie. I know it sucks for you guys, but I'm having a good time over here. You know, my belly's full. My fucking bowels have been emptied. Uh, I, I've purchased some items. Now the engine hoist is probably as soon as this swap is done, that engine hoist is probably gonna be on marketplace for somebody else to buy and get a smoking deal, because I don't think I'm gonna want to house an engine hoist. I'd like to recoup some of that money back. Returning it to Amazon is an option, but I'd rather just wheel it out and throw it in somebody's truck bed, not mine, and have them give me money right then and there. Be cool. But yeah, man. Thinking long term for the truck, short term and long term. The door has to get painted. The hood has to get painted. The rockers have got to get painted and possibly attached properly and welded, and whatever I got to do to that. Something's got to happen with the body on that truck, because I don't mind it looking like a pile of shit, but the red door just throws it way off. Got to get rid of the red door. At least paint the fucking door, and then the rest of it, I might not give too much shit about. But I have looked up truck beds, and I have found a couple of truck beds that are not nearly as rusty as mine, that I could potentially purchase for a decent price. Then I got to get rid of my bed, and then I got to go pick that one up. So I don't know. I don't know if it's something I want to do. Picking up a bed is not that hard, though. You just get like a little dowel rods and you stick them in the holes in the bed. Then take the new bed and put it upside down on those dowels, and then just one ratchet strap. Boom, you're good. That shit's secure. But I don't know if I want to do an entire bed swap, or I could get the patch panels for less than what a bed would be. And because a bed is only rusty around the fender wells, and any other bed that I get, it's going to be rusty in the same spots mine is, other than that. So just fix the fender wells, fix the rockers, fix the cab corners, paint the motherfucker, And that's another thing. I don't know what color I would go with. I really like a dark blue, and I would love to paint it dark blue. Um, but I don't know. I don't know how I want to do that quite yet. Spray paint is always an option. It's not gonna blend very well, you know. I'm gonna have to sand the whole thing down, then primer it. If I'm gonna go with a color, you got to, or else you're gonna have blemishes throughout the entire thing. I'm gonna have blemishes no matter what, because most likely that truck's gonna get painted in my driveway, just like the Jeep was. And the Jeep, I'm not even kidding. The Jeep turned out pretty fucking good. Is that light green? It's it's green. The Jeep looks pretty fucking good. Oh, we got a civilian at the landfill. Civilians at the landfill are a problem. They don't know what the fuck they're doing here. Like, huh? Park on the scale? What? Go where? Drive up here? Oh, release the brakes. Here we go. We're on the scale. We're almost ready to head home. And I was kind of silly to think that I was going to mow the yard again today. That fucking shit ain't gonna happen. Yeah, pretty excited. I don't know what I'm going to do today when I get home. Mowing is out of the question, I think. But and I guess I didn't. I got an A plus 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 from my city. They came and inspected uh, my vehicle storage facility behind my house, and they said looks good. So, I mean, I guess if worse comes to worse, I could start parking all of these vehicles in my backyard on 6x12 concrete pavers, and nobody can say anything about it. It's not exactly what I want to do, but I could just start parking a bunch of vehicles back there. And then I could have my driveway back. That would be kind of nice. And honestly, that might actually happen with the square body. Um, I don't have enough room in my driveway for everything. So having the square body out of the frame for a little bit after I take the goodies out of it might be a good. Oh, what I was saying was long term with the truck. Now these are always some things that people are going to say they want to do and they might do, and I don't have a whole lot of faith in me doing any of. Not. I wouldn't say any of these things, but if I had unlimited money and I could just make things with the snap of a finger, solid axle swap front end, like a 6-inch lift kit, um, big wheels, not really big wheels, but big tires, disc brakes for the rear, a roll bar, possibly a headache rack, possibly a camper shell. Those would be cool. Replacing the front grill with the upgraded front grill, which I can do that. I have almost all the parts for that. And then yeah, air conditioning. Figure out what's going on with the air conditioning, get that fixed. That's a possibility. Oh, damn. Bumpy. Went from concrete to gravel quick. I don't think I have that much loaded on me that I think I can make it up this hill at the landfill in 6th gear. Never lift. Here we go. 6th gear, climbing the hill. It's a pretty steep hill, and it's not as steep right here, but it gets steeper up here, and then it goes a little less steep, and then it gets even steeper right at the very top. So if I do have to downshift, I'm running a 10-speed manual international, so I will need to drop her down into the low side and shift into 5th. And if I can't get 5th quick enough, I gotta go to 4th, because Oh, a hawk! Oh, Jesus! Almost landed on my hood. We're making it just fine. We got all the RPMs. The torque and power out of these trucks is just, it's very, very interesting, I see a lot of black smoke coming from the place that I'm heading. I think they're either firing up their machine or it caught on fire again, which it has caught on fire before. What the hell is going on over there? I think there is actually a fire going on. Let's inspect it a little closer. Yeah, there's some sort of a fire happening right now. Yep, the pit's on fire. Not sure. I might have to let you guys go. I don't think the pit is supposed to be on fire. And I don't know if breathing those fumes in is a good idea. I'll be right back. All right, and we're back. We are done with the dump. Took a little longer than expected. Yes, it was on fire. Some really interesting things happened just shortly ago, just recently. Yeah, I see a big black cloud, and I'm like, what's going on? He's like, oh, fire broke out, and we dumped some water on it, and it just made it worse. So we just kind of are letting it do its thing. And I look over and I see these fucking idiots. I mean, I guess, I don't know. I think it's pretty idiotic to stand in the smoke. Like, the smoke was going exactly one direction. It wasn't like spread out far and wide. The wind was blowing at a decent rate. And they're standing right in the smoke. And I'm like, guys, I wouldn't be in the spot. You're having some sort of a chemical reaction. Something spontaneously burst into flames, and now it's got a cloud that you're standing in. I mean, all right, listen, guys. If you learn one thing from this podcast here is when you start mixing a bunch of different chemicals, even if they're all non-haz, you're gonna have some weird things happen. And when them chemical reactions happen, don't stand in the smoke, But I mean, they weren't in it for very long. But I'm like, I wouldn't have been in that at all. Fucking crazy. I still dumped, but next in the different pit. And I parked my truck to where I was going to be out of the cloud completely. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I don't know. You never know what that could actually cause, because obviously there's not like we don't know what happened in there. We know that a couple of chemicals got together, reacted, and spontaneously combusted. And the vapor cloud coming off that is probably, I don't know. You're gonna wake up with a sore throat, maybe, and hopefully that's it. But yeah, and what happened was my old company was there with a new guy, or a guy that I've never met before. He was by himself, so he can't be that new. But he was running the walking floor trailer, so he was, and he did, which is, it's understandable how it happened. But if you don't know how to run the walking floor trailer, you can fuck it up pretty good. And fucking it up pretty good is leaving the rear door shut and turning it on. Because he just ripped both. He didn't rip the doors off, but they're definitely completely fucked up. The rear doors, it's like a regular 53-foot dry van doors on the back of it, the big swinging doors, and the bottom of them were not in the greatest shape, because it's been used for a while, but now they are completely fucked up, which is just so funny because that's my old company, and they got some new guy driving a truck, and he fucked some shit up, and he was dumping fertilizer, so I would imagine that had something to do with this spontaneous eruption of chemicals. So very interesting. But it was weird. I was like, what is he doing? They're like, oh, he's trying to get the door shut because there's a fire. So he's gonna. I didn't understand this until I talked to the scale attendant at the end. I was like, he left, then he came back. What's going on there? There's no way he left and got another load. I'm like, oh no, he was afraid of the fire, so he was trying to get his door shut and get out of there, and then I don't know. It's odd. He decided to stay and dump or come back and dump again. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's just really funny. It's like, that's my old company. You hired obviously not the brightest drivers because he broke a trailer and caused a fire. Now I have caused a fire and broken a trailer before. Different methods, but so I guess I can't really talk too much shit on it. It's just funny to see. It's really funny to see. Like, I used to work for you guys, and I would have probably been doing that job today if I had still worked here or worked there. And you fucked a bunch of shit up. You fucked a bunch of shit up and called the fucking shit boss. I call her shit boss. I don't know. Well, is she a good boss? Maybe. I think she's a decent boss to most of the employees. For some reason, she was not the greatest boss in my eyes. I don't want to take that away. I don't want to say she's shitty to everybody because she's probably not. But she was definitely not my favorite boss of all time. It's not because she's a woman, because she has been. I've known that lady for a long time. She's actually, I think, the same exact age as me. So, but I met her when she was a part-time desk assistant, or a girl at the front desk. She started at one of my older companies, and then she stuck around long enough and did a good job that she got to move in and become a full-time employee. And then when that boss from that company left and came to that company, she followed. And then she became basically shop mother, which was good because we had a boss to take care of the boss and operation things, and we had her to take care of all the other, like mainly paperwork and other things that we had going on. But then they promoted her to be the boss, like the boss. It's like, that's cool, but she also, like, she understands how things are better than most people. But there, you still, I think a good boss is somebody that's been there, done that, been worked out their fucking wazoo, been definitely dealt with some of the real hardships of being a laborer, or an operator, or something like that. And she has been there for some things here and there, but she has not been. And then when she became the boss, she decided to be a by the book Nancy. So everything had to be by the book with her, and it was really annoying because we went from being pretty fast and loose to being very slow and sheltered. We had to do everything. Then it was like, yeah, you're gonna lose production when you start, picking on safety the whole time. And most of us are doing things, in a good manner where nobody's gonna get hurt. Sketchy sometimes, but sometimes that's what it takes to get the job done, and nobody got seriously injured most of the time. But I don't know. I don't even know what I'm trying to say. It's hard to say you're against safety, but it's not. I'm not against safety. I see safety hindering productivity quite a bit, and whenever you want things to be as safe as possible and also as efficient as it was, it's not going to happen. And I don't even know why I'm going off on that, because it wasn't really a safety issue or any. It was just, I had heard some stories like she would go out and do site audits, so like job site audits, and we had, like, she's the head of the field side, field technicians that are, we have a scheduled day-to-day normal business stuff, and then we had an emergency department. And the head of the emergency department went out and did an audit on the emergency department on a job site. There was it was a wood glue spill. Wood glue. Let me say that again. Wood glue. And the emergency department head showed up and said, "You guys are doing a good job. Keep up good work." And then he left, and then this bitch decided to show up, and she's like, "I'm going to do a safety audit." And they're like, "Hey, you don't have to, because we just passed one. We already had one done. We passed with flying colors. Don't worry about it." She said, "Well, I'm going to do one also. So fuck off." And she showed up and she said, "You guys need to be in full Tyvek suits with respirators and gloves and boots and booties and this and that, and you need to, you got to use the approved this and that and blah blah blah." And it's like, "Where's the SDS?" And it's like, "It's wood glue, bitch. It's wood glue." And she's like, "I don't care if you don't have an SDS, blah blah blah, this and that." So that was a big tension moment at the company, to where we had the head of the ER and the head of field going after each other, pissed off, creating drama. And there was always drama between ER and field. I actually got in trouble once because I made a joke. I was hanging out with one of the top ER technicians, on a job site, and then whenever we got back to the shop, I went into the office, and he went to go park the truck. And when I went in, I sat down, and my boss was like, "How'd it go? Everything go fine?" I'm like, "Yep, everything went fine." And then he walked in. I said, "Oh, I was like, oh, guys, stop talking about him." And my boss looked at me. This was my old boss. Looked at me with disgust. And then he's like, "Oh, ha, ha, ha." And then he walked past and left the room. And he said, "Why the fuck would you say that?" I'm like, "Say what?" He's like, "Why would you say that?" He's like, "They already hate me. And now they think I'm talking shit about them." Thanks. I'm like, "I don't think so. I don't see how you came to that conclusion from that." I think that was I'm I've always been a joking type of guy, and I don't think he thinks we were sitting around talking shit about him. First off, he's one of the top performers over there. There's nothing that he did that you could talk shit about. He knows what he's doing. He does a very good job, and he became supervisor. So we trust him more than anybody else, really. So we no, obviously he knows we weren't talking shit about him. He knows he didn't do anything wrong. We know he didn't do anything wrong. Why the fuck are you turning this into? Anyway, that boss. It was pretty much from that point forward where me and that boss started to go downhill. He was also taking a back seat to most things. He was like, you know, I'm thinking for him right now, where he's saying, "I'm not going to be the boss of this department anymore, so I don't have to worry about anything. I can just continue to shove shit off onto new girl boss, and she'll take care of it." And then when she got in, I'm almost 100%. They had a talk where he said, "You need to rule with an iron fist. You need to never take no for an answer." Like talking her up a big game. So whenever she came out, he wanted her to prove herself or whatever the fuck. Even though we all liked her, she was good. We all liked her. Everything was fine, and then she became the boss, and a lot of people started to not like her after that. I still liked her all the way up until the very end, basically. I mean, there was a couple times where there were some things she did that wasn't directed towards me at all, that I didn't exactly agree with, but it wasn't my place. It wasn't me in question at all. It was all the way up until she decided that I didn't deserve the bonus that I had acquired during my 2 weeks. And, anyways, that was, fuck that. I don't want to say fuck that place because it is a good place to work for newbies, people that want to get into any type of a trade. That's a great place to start working at. They will show you how to run a skid steer, run a forklift. They even have a boat. They have an excavator. They have straight trucks, semi trucks, roll off trailers, uh, the double rail. You have regular container boxes, the double or the fucking walking floor, the low boy, the removable goose tank. Like they have a lot of equipment. They have a vast variety of jobs. They got cleaning water towers, working in heights. Any type of job there is, they do it. So I don't want to say fuck that place, but they uh, did not treat me with the respect that I thought I should have deserved. And so I don't like them, but they are good as a whole. I will say it is a good company to go work for. It's not a company you're going to want to try to retire from. Unless you can round nose your way up into the office, you're not going to retire from there. As a laborer, truck driver, anything like that. First off, it's so hard on your body. You got to have younger people out there to be able to do all of those things. And me, I just wanted to make as much money as possible. And I had a good time doing it too. But whenever you're a laborer, truck driver, equipment operator, and, somewhat of a fucking supervisor, and they expect that out of you every single day, which is fine for some people, but whenever I found out I could make more money somewhere else doing none of that shit, it changed my mind quick. So, like, I just drive a truck, open and close the valve. It's really fucking simple. Over there, it was not. Some jobs were just hooking up a hose and opening and closing valves. Most of the time, it involved, a shovel or multiple stops, work, and try to get everything done all at once, and then go help these people do this and help those people do that. And it was just like so much going on. It was like not cool. So, anyways, I don't know. I do get a little bit of satisfaction looking over there, seeing this new guy that I don't know him at all, don't know his name, never seen him before, never seen him work ever before. But to see some new guy over there driving a semi truck and fuck shit up at the company that I feel like wronged me, it's funny. And I get a little bit of enjoyment out of that. Sue me. And I think another really funny thing is I've heard through the grapevine. I don't know how substantial it all is, but I've heard them say, "Oh, he made a big mistake leaving here. Oh, he'll be back. Oh, he's not going to be near as happy wherever he goes as he was here." I've heard some version of those things being told to me by ex-coworkers, or I shouldn't say. I guess ex-coworkers is the right term. And it's really funny every time I talk to one of them. I'm like, no, dude, I love this job. You guys are fucking idiots for sticking around over there. I cannot believe anybody works. I can believe new people work there, but the people that really put in the effort and keep that company going, I cannot believe you put up with the shit that you put up with for as little pay as you're getting for as long as you've worked there. I can't believe it. You guys are real badass human beings that get the shit done, and they act like they are respecting you, but you guys are being severely underpaid for the amount of workload and stress that you guys are putting on yourselves. It's insane. And yeah, I feel like I got one guy out of there. He works with me now. Another guy, old Hunter, he's out of there. But that was his own doing. I didn't really service that at all. I think watching me leave after how long I've been there helped him make his decision. But I think if I still worked there, he still would have left. But maybe not. I don't know. I don't think I was holding anybody there. I'm not that important of a person, but yeah. I like, these are my friends. These are people that I spent a lot of time with, and I've been in really funky situations with that I respect, and I like them, and I want them to have a better life. And knowing that they are there going through some really crazy shit all the fucking time it's like, guys, it's greener on the other side. I promise you it's greener on the other side. Get the fuck out of there. You guys have been there. You put in your time. Get the fuck out of there and have a happier life somewhere else. Please. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like it was the era. You know how there's like eras at places you work. I don't know. I know I've had that where there, like even at the lumberyard, there was like the first generation people, and they all ended up getting phased out. And there's a couple that stuck around, but then there were some people that showed up during that created the second era, and then there's just like other people. New management would come in, and it would change everything, and it would make either people closer or further together, and it was just there was a big change in era at the lumberyard whenever they sold out to the other lumberyard, because there was a bunch of other people that ended up having all the power there, and it just didn't feel right, and nobody felt like they really belonged. And now there's some people that are still there and still doing it and still making it work, but I don't know. Anyways, there was an era of over at that company that I've been talking about mainly, um, where we had a lot of good people, and things were going good, and then the company just started getting that's another problem. The company got really big really fast and started expanding and bringing new people in and this and that, and it was like, man, there's so much going on. Um, you know, Starting to feel like you don't really belong. At different points, there were some really good eras there though. But I've started a new era, and I like this era. This is a much smaller, simpler to follow era, I believe. I drive this tanker truck. I do 1 to 2 stops a day, and then I go home. Yeah, it takes all day, but it's not hard work as long as I can stay awake. I mean, that's really my biggest deal. I'm gonna need to get over you fucktards. Maybe not. Maybe I will just go a different route so I don't have to deal with some of that traffic. Yeah, I'll just go a different route. That way it looks kind of blocked up anyways. Why are you changing lanes, Audi? Why the fuck are you changing? I saw one guy I used to work with. I've seen him twice now out on the road, and I called him once and we tried to talk, but his phone was not connecting very well. Felt bad about, I wish I could have talked to him. He's one of the last guys I worked with, or actually was the last guy I worked with. Worked with him on a Saturday. I worked a Saturday during my 2 weeks notice. I worked on a fucking Saturday for that goddamn company. And then for them to fuck me like they did, like, I don't want to work here anymore. I've got another job. I could quit at any moment, but yes, I will work on Saturday for you. And I guess I don't know. I'd like to say that just shows how nice of a guy I am, and how I'm trying to be a helpful guy. And then even the Friday before that, I got completely covered in shit. I was the only one that had to, really. I don't know. It annoyed me that I was willing to do those things. I should have just said fucking no. No. You're gonna give me that bonus? Then no. I'm not gonna fucking do your shit. I'm not gonna get covered in your fucking shit and work on the weekend. If you're not gonna help me out a little bit, why the fuck would I help you out a little bit? And I wish I would have known they weren't gonna help me out beforehand. Um, Anyways, yeah, the era I'm in now, just trying to get back into feeling good. I'm surrounded by a really good group of guys. I don't see a reason any of these guys would leave the company anytime soon. I feel like I got in at a really good moment. We got the people that they weren't very much of a fan of. I replaced one of them. My buddy that got hired on replaced another one, and then we got another guy getting hired on. So he's the wild card. Nobody knows who he is, where he's worked, anything about this guy. But he is going to be starting on Monday, I believe. And so he's a wild card. But we have 6 drivers. I only have to know, I think 10 people are the only people I'm going to have to ever work with. And it's a little bit easier to get along with just 10 people. Now, rumors and drama can travel quickly in this company. You don't talk shit about anybody because it will get found out. But most of the time, the shit talk is just, what did Trump say? Locker room talk or whatever. It's not like nobody. There's nothing to get that mad about at this company. We all have our own trucks. We all have our own trailers. We all have our own jobs. Me not doing me if I slack on my part, I'm not hurting anybody else. Got some police activity up ahead. This creep motherfucker likes to just stick his nose wherever the fuck he wants, don't? Oh yeah, we're having a good time. Yeah, and I guess with this company, it's kind of crazy how it started out with me getting completely fucked out of my truck, but I have that truck back now. So did I get completely fucked out of my truck? Kind of. Do you fucking idiots not see the cops on the side of the road up here? How are you not getting out of the fucking way? You motherfucker, you had plenty of time to get over. Why would you run up on the fucking police officers like that, you dumb son of a... I don't want to insult your mother, but fuck you. Damn, the windshield of that car that was pulled over was completely shattered. That lane ends. Why are you getting back in that lane? It clearly ends, you dummy. I'm gonna get up in there so you can't get back over if you don't fucking get your head out of your ass. We're trying to pass everybody on the right. Damn, dude. Yeah, I think if I didn't know how good it was over at this company, and I would have got what I asked for at the last company, I think I still would be looking for another job. I say, this is fucking ridiculous, guys. How much fucking bullshit you're trying to put on everybody every day. I need to get the fuck out of here. I need to find a job that's a little bit simpler. Home every night. Maybe at night, but home every night. Start early every morning. It's a pretty simple deal. Look, I gave you guys an hour-long episode. I think I'm close to an hour. I started a second recording, so I can't exactly see. how long I've been going quite yet, but I know put in 31 minutes right here. We're almost back to the shop. Cut me off. I know you want to. Cut me off. Do it, baby. Cut me off. Please cut me off. I know you want to. Maybe they don't want to cut me off. Hey, we're good then. Oh, shit. What a slob I am. What a lazy sack of fucking shit I am. What? Where did this come from? I'm a big fat piece of shit. Who are you? That fire truck is getting towed. Oh. You know, after eating a family-sized lasagna, it's getting kind of hard to fart. I did that over the weekend. I don't think I brought it up until just now. I ate a family-sized lasagna. I ate half of it Saturday night, and then I ate the other half for breakfast on Sunday morning. How fucking sad. I mean, it was good. It's a lasagna. I love lasagna. But damn, that's a lot of lasagna that I put inside my body. All fucking clogged up with lasagna. No wonder I feel like a big sack of peas. Fucking bitch. I'm the bitch. Stouffer's family-sized lasagna. I told my wife, I said, hey, will you buy a smaller lasagna next time if you guys aren't going to eat some? I made it. I put some on my son's plate. I put some on my daughter's plate. I put some on my wife's plate. I made me a big ass plate, and then for the sides we had garlic bread and pears, canned pears. Oh, these bumps are bad. You might be able to hear my keys just banging on the dash. Yeah, canned pears, garlic breaded lasagna. It was a wonderful meal. I ate half of the lasagna and then I fell asleep. And then I woke up in the morning and it was like 10 o'clock and I'm like, it's a little late for breakfast. Oh, I should have went around this fire truck. He's got to, I thought he was going to try to back it into the fire station. I thought I was about to witness something amazing. Oh, damn. Yeah, it was like brunch. It was like breakfast and lunch, and I was like, I'm so hungry. What could I eat? And I'm like, you know what? Reheated lasagna would be wonderful, and it was. But I don't need a. Hey, lady, don't buy so much lasagna. Oh, that's what I was getting at. My kids didn't. My boy, he ate maybe a bite of lasagna, and my daughter took a nibble, and my wife ate like half a square. Was I letting that cold lasagna that was all chopped up on my kids' plates go to waste? Hell no. Was I going to let my wife's half a square go to waste? No. I ate every last bit of lasagna. I was damn near licking the paper pan that it came in. I gonna curb it? Nope. Back it up nice and gently. We made it. We're done. Now we can log out and go home in the rain. Woo! Anyways, you guys don't want to hear about my lasagna debacle. Sorry I brought that up. We gotta log out of this fucking truck. Yeah. And do a post trip. Oh yeah. Yeah, so sorry about just sitting here rambling. Adios, keep all 18 down. We're gonna talk to y'all later. Bye bye.